This is a very exciting last module and chapter for us. We're gonna work on beginning spins. Woohoo! The first spin we learned in skating is our 2-foot spin. But before that, we're gonna learn how to do a forward inside pivot. We're trying to figure out if we spin and jump to the left or to the right. You could try both and see which one works better, but I'm gonna give you a test. The first test is a high five test. So if you go and high five someone, I'm using my right hand, so that probably means I'm gonna turn counterclockwise. Another test is kicking a soccer ball. So I have you kick invisible soccer ball. I automatically go to my right leg, so that tells me that's gonna be my leg that's gonna be dominant for swinging through for my waltz jump and the first few jumps that I learned. The last test, which I don't recommend, is you can have someone push you and see which foot you stumble with first. So I automatically stumbled onto my right foot, so I probably, same thing, will jump and spin counterclockwise. That is a more common direction. It is common for right-handed skaters to go counterclockwise, but that's not always the rule. I have several who go to the left. So clockwise, you'll probably high five with the left hand, kick with the left foot. So try both and see. But for the pivot, you should be able to do that on both sides. We're gonna think about body position first. So toe pick is under your left hip. I'm slightly turned out with my hips, so hips turned out, knee pointed out, and my arms are like a V. It's gonna be right over the thigh tracing. I'm gonna press on my inside edge and I'm gonna stay on the back of the blade. We're gonna try to keep my center of gravity over my toe pick. Keep that toe pick pointed into the ice to see if I can do a full 360. So some similar concepts to stroking, edges, gliding, crossovers, etc. Upper body is frozen. So from the belly button up, I'm frozen. So think about your hips below working. Stay stacked the whole time. So as I'm doing this, I kind of keep my feet essentially in an upside down T. Arms are over the feet. I'm just facing forward, staying square. Try your best to do 3 pumps. So for my clockwise skaters, now my left toe pick is under my left hip. I'm staying aligned. Upper body is always aligned over my foot. So common errors I see, your upper body gets ahead of you, your leg gets too far wide, or you're on too deep of an edge. So it's a very slight forward inside edge. That way you can come around during your pivot. So when I spin, I'm gonna spin on the ball of my foot. That's a sweet spot. I'm gonna be pretty close to the toe pick. Some people might even be hitting that first bottom tooth of the toe pick. For me, I'm just slightly behind there. So if you bend and wiggle, you should be able to find your sweet spot to spin, which should be pretty quiet. And I'm gonna be on inside edges. If you bend and do your back wiggles like we did at the beginning of this course, that's gonna be what a 2-foot spin feels like. So when I spin, I'm gonna do a pivot. So think about a half pivot. Then I'm gonna pull my toes together, feet come in first, arms follow after, and I'm gonna try to spin on the front of my skate. When I'm spinning, I'm standing tall, so level shoulders, level hips, and I'm gonna be square. Arms come in parallel to the ice. This is also a common error I see, that you pull in here or break at the waist, or you drop. So pivot, pull in to spin. It's gonna be a gradual pull in. You don't wanna muscle anything in. You don't wanna twist anything in. Think about the edge leading you to spin. So you have a diminishing edge. I start wide, I get in narrow. So that's gonna be my hook to get into my spin. And then when I'm done spinning, I'm slowing down. I'm gonna bend. I'm pushed onto a back outside edge. So I am checked, my leg is behind the 7 o'clock, and we're looking to the right. Let's spin in the opposite direction. So my edge is gonna get smaller and smaller and smaller. I have a leading arm. So right arm is gonna lead into my spin, going clockwise. Then I start to twist in until I get square, bend, big stroke to exit. So that's my walkthrough. Push, spin, check to the left to exit. That's my non-dominant side. For a challenge, we could also spin on one foot. So before we spin on one foot, we're going to do an exercise. I want you to warm up your back 1 foot glide. So I'm going to be here, hug, shift and lift. You could do that forwards as well. Going backwards is a bit more practical because you are going to be spinning on the front of your blade ball of the foot. As I pull in, my arms are high and level to the ice. So I go from here to here, hug and spin. Some important key notes when I'm spinning: my hips are level, shoulders are level, and I am going to spin on the back inside edge. So once I'm spinning, and I'm level, so I'm centering my spin. It takes about 1 or 2 revolutions to center your spin. Once you feel balanced, you can lift your free leg. It's a small lift. I'm just going toe to heel, just like a 1 foot glide. When I'm spinning, my knees pointing forwards, hips are pointing forwards as well. Let's try that again. So push, feet in, arms in, centered, up, 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 and then glide out. And that's your 1 foot spin.